New homes, new restaurants, new communities. Charleston's growth can be seen all around us, with more than 750,000 people now living in the Tri-County area. But what if you don't have a car? How do you get to and from the parts of the Low Country that are growing the most? As Live 5's Cameron Bopp found out, many areas around Charleston are still transit deserts.
It's a Thursday morning outside the Citadel Mall in West Ashley. I'm trying to use public transit to get across town to Daniel Island, which has become one of Charleston's major job centers. It's only around a 20-minute drive from here, so how long will it take me to get there using CARTA? Well, the bus from the mall only took me as far as Rivers Avenue in North Charleston, of course making stops along the way. From there, I ended up on foot, walking through the old Navy Yard to the water. I was trying to get to Daniel Island, but the Cooper River was standing in my way with no safe way to cross. You see, there's no way to actually get over that bridge unless you're in a car. I ended up having to catch a ride from a colleague to make it the rest of the way. That's because Daniel Island is what's known as a transit desert. Despite having thousands of residents and no shortage of office buildings and businesses, it's in no way connected to Charleston's transit system. Junfeng Zhao runs the Urban Information Lab at the University of Texas at Austin. He's also the person who came up with the term transit desert.
Transit desert is a technical term used to describe an area where you have a high demand for public transit but a low supply, or you don't have any public transit supply at all.
Zhao says transit deserts hurt people who can't afford to drive or are unable to, even drivers who end up getting stuck in traffic because there's no other option. And Daniel Island is far from the only place in the Low Country where you need to drive to get in or out.
We need more buses. This place is getting bigger.
Take a look at this map here. These are all the places served by CARTA buses. You can see that Daniel Island, Palmetto Commerce Parkway, Folly Beach, and much of Kiowa Island are all major employment centers in the Low Country for offices, manufacturing, or tourism, and they all have no CARTA service. They aren't served by Tri-County Link buses either.
Most of the people don't want to hire you if you got to use mass transit as your way of getting to work.
And in many other places like downtown Charleston and West Ashley, where buses do run, there's often limited service at times like weekend evenings.
I think the region is finally sort of getting to a place where there's recognition that transit is vital to the health of a community.
Katie Zimmerman is the executive director of Charleston Moves, a group that advocates for walkers, bikers, and transit riders in the Low Country. She says that as Charleston continues to grow, transit deserts need to go.
It's a fail for the community, and we see that playing out in multiple ways. People are unable to get certain jobs because they don't have the transportation options to do it. We're seeing where people are choosing to live.
With the Low Country's population skyrocketing and traffic picking up on our roads, why have public transit options not kept up with all of the growth? That's what Live 5 News wanted to know, so we asked CARTA Chairman Mike Seekings.
As the region grows, we're going to grow with it.
Seekings says it's important to CARTA that they make sure that enough people are actually riding the buses in the places where they choose to operate.
As with any agency, we have funding limitations. We get funding sources from a number of different places, but those limitations are real. So we put the equipment on the road. We get it to places that we know people need the service within our budget limitations. I mean, we don't have an endless budget.
Seekings said that CARTA has made some changes recently, like adding a seasonal shuttle service between Mount Pleasant and Isle of Palms, and work could get underway in 2023 to develop a shortened version of the Low Country Rapid Transit bus line between downtown Charleston and Ladson. But is all of that enough?
I would say the number one issue with why we don't have the transit system we should is because we are not investing in it. The state invests very little in public transit in South Carolina, and meanwhile at the same time we're investing literally billions trying to set aside for highway construction, highway widening.
Seekings says that more funds could be coming to help improve public transportation infrastructure here in the Low Country.
Recently, the federal government has made a huge commitment to investing in regional and local public transportation, and we expect CARTA to be the beneficiary of that.
It's not yet clear how much money could be coming or where it would be used, but with transit deserts like Daniel Island still remaining all over the Low Country and congestion on our roads getting even worse, Zimmerman says that more transportation options would go a long way.
Chipping away again at the number of car trips, at the number of cars that are out on the road at any given time, that makes a huge difference for the people who are like, nope, only going to drive a car. That's it for me. Great. Well, wouldn't you love to get all these other cars out of your way? So all of these different things do benefit everyone.
In Charleston, Cameron Bopp, Live 5 News.